extending a nail using a nail form. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to prep the nail. So you're going to want to start by removing the cuticle. So put some cuticle remover and then push back the cuticles gently with a steel cuticle pusher. And then you're going to want to wipe away the remaining cuticle remover, and I'm just using rubbing alcohol, and then buff the nail. And then as you look around, if there's any loose pieces of cuticle or dead cuticle, remove that with a cuticle nippers. Now file the edge of the nail so that it's a nice, round, smooth shape. This is going to make applying the form and using the form a lot easier. So now I'm going to remove the form from the backing and punch out that little circle and place that underneath the extension area. Then break that top and bend it and roll it between your thumbs. This will give it the same nice C-curve as a natural nail does so that it fits snugly underneath and there's not many gaps. So then once you have that, you're going to want to fit that underneath the nail. So fold those two wings back and then place it under the nail. And pull back the sidewalls around the nail so that the form can get up as snugly as it can. So attach those two tabs to the top of the finger, and then the two tabs underneath, stick those together. Now chances are this form isn't going to fit perfectly because everyone's fingers are different, so they're probably not going to fit. So if you can see, like, there's those little gaps, and you're going to want to try and eliminate those by making 45-degree angle cuts, and you're going to want to make them towards you, towards the person applying the forms. So away from the other person. And then you can push those tabs underneath. And if it still doesn't fit, that could mean that the cuticle underneath the nail is at a different curve than the form is. So as you can see, there's still a little crack right there. And so in order to fix that, I'm going to need to deepen the curve of the form. Now, some people are going to have their nail be straight or crossed right there, and so then you're going to have to lessen the curve. So just look at each person's fingernails to decide how it needs to be adjusted. So once you have that cut away, you're going to want to retest it, re-see how it fits. And if it aligns well, like this does, then you can reattach those tabs to the top of the finger. See how that has a nice straight across angle? That's what you are looking for as well. So now I'm going to first wipe away any oils with a prep solution, and then I'm going to apply a primer. And now I'm going to start at the free edge of her natural nail, and I'm going to create the length. So take a fairly small bead of acrylic and just press that on. And you want this first bead to be fairly thin because this is almost like making the nail tip. So instead of using a nail tip, you're creating one in this step. And you can create the shape that you want the nail by just pushing and pulling the acrylic across that form. And you're going to want to try and keep the edges. It's going to want to, if your acrylic is a fairly wet bead, which it can be, it's going to want to try and slide down the edges. So until it's set a little bit, you're going to need to be pushing it back. So then add the next bead, and this one you're going to want to do across the apex, so right across the same area we put the first one. And this one you want it to be a little bit drier. And then smooth that down over the edge. And so we'll be placing our last bead near the cuticle, and this one's going to be smaller, and you don't want it to be too thick near the cuticle because then it's going to start catching on things, and you want to have that nice natural shape and to smooth down thinly towards the cuticle. Once that acrylic has set completely and your nail can tap against it, then you're going to want to remove the form. So first take off those that are stuck to the finger and then push in until it has released. And since she wants a round shape, I'm going to be filing the nail, and I'm going to start by filing away the edges where that acrylic may have slipped down across the form. And then you're going to want to file the free edge. And now with that same thin file, go across the cuticle. And then with a thicker, a little bit more powerful file, I guess, I'm using a 180 grit file. I'm just going to go and smooth out the entire nail and make sure that it's a good shape and has a nice curve to it. And then that file is going to leave little scratches, so you're going to want to remove that with a padded file that's more like a 240. And now I'm going to buff the nail until it has a nice shine. So I'm first, on my file, it has like a green side and a white side. So I'm going to start with the green side. And if you feel the green side has more of a texture to it and the white side's really smooth. So then once I'm good with that, do the white side and then we'll leave it with a beautiful shine. And apply some cuticle oil and your client is all set. Thanks for watching. I hope this tutorial helps you out. Share any recreations or thoughts with me on Facebook and Twitter. Bye!